Massive details have been revealed on Mikal Bridges' future with the Brooklyn Nets, and obviously the New York Knicks will be the frontrunner to get him if they try to trade him. So we have to break this down. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here, and it is a beautiful day in New York, so let's jump right into the video so we can all get outside and enjoy this weather. Guys, it seems as if the Brooklyn Nets are interested in keeping Mikal Bridges, as we've seen this from Jake Fisher already, but when you look at it, something that's mentioned when the Nets are looking for the right coach for this team, there is a quote on that third line of that big paragraph that says the Nets, by all accounts, still hold aspirations of adding to a core that already features a complementary piece in Mikal Bridges. Now, obviously, we know what that means. We know that the Brooklyn Nets are very, very high on Mikal Bridges, and this is for multiple reasons. The first one is that when he got to the Nets, he instantly averaged 26 points per game for them in that first half, or really that, 20 games that he played for them when he first got to the team, before going down to 20 points this season, which was still a respectable season on a guy who plays on a non-respectable team in the Brooklyn Nets. But look, something here that we have seen is that the Brooklyn Nets have been very consistent in their belief in that Mikal Bridges can be one of the best players on a successful team, and I obviously agree with them, but I don't think it can be the Brooklyn Nets because of how trash they are, and the Nets disagree. The Nets think that they can turn this team around and make a contender built around some star to be named later, probably Donovan Mitchell's who they're most interested in, to put someone, maybe Mitchell, next to Mikal Bridges. Now, someone else who I think people are not really talking about is Trae Young as an option for the Brooklyn Nets. I think that is a real option. So is DeJounte Murray, by the way. Now, the Brooklyn Nets kept a lot of their role players at the deadline, which I thought was idiotic. They could have gotten an unprotected first-round pick for Dorian Finney-Smith, but decided not to, which kind of adds to the belief that the Brooklyn Nets are not going to try to tank anytime soon, which means Mikal Bridges is not going to get traded to the Knicks anytime soon, barring a massive change of heart from Sean Marks and owner Joe Tsai. Now, recently, as of yesterday, there was an article in Bleacher Report about stars that needed a change of scenery, and obviously Mikal Bridges to the Knicks was one of them. As you can see here, I'm not going to read through the whole thing because it's a lot, and I don't really want to read the whole thing again. I've read it like 3 times. Is that Josh Hart joked about the Squidward thing when he's like, Squidward's looking outside at SpongeBob and Patrick playing, and that Bridges is Squidward in that situation, as he would just fit perfectly in lineups led by Jalen Brunson. Obviously, they won a championship together at Villanova. Shout out UConn for winning last night. And also, he can be paired with Dante DiVincenzo, another guy who we won a championship with, and another elite shooter, especially from the corners. And something that they do mention is that Bridges is not the same price that a Donovan Mitchell or a Giannis Antetokounmpo might be if the Knicks are looking to trade for one of those two, which they've done both over the past 24 hours, no, the last 12 months. And Bojan Bogdanovic and a big chunk of the Knicks draft picks might get the deal done. It could also make it feasible to pass on re-signing OG Anunoby in free agency if the front office is concerned with his lack of durability. But look, honestly, that's BS. We know they're going to re-sign OG Anunoby. We know they're going to give him the money. OG's clearly shown that he deserves it. He makes the Knicks a way better team. The man's defense is something out of this world. So OG is coming back. But realistically, we could see Dante DiVincenzo become a 6th man on the New York Knicks, and that man is a starting level player. And we could see a lineup of Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Julius Randle, and Mitchell Robinson or Isaiah Hartenstein, depending on who the Knicks decide to go with. Or maybe they just keep them both around and one of them stars and they platoon the two, which is my hope, but obviously that's expensive. Now, that is one of the most disgusting defensive lineups in the NBA, surrounded by 2 great scorers in Brunson and Randle, both of whom average, well, a lot of points. Jalen Brunson is 5th in points per game this season. Julius Randle put up 24 points per game in a season that was shortened by his shoulder injury. But we know they're both elite scorers. We know Julius is a great isolation option. We know that Jalen Brunson is an elite offensive player. He's one of the best players in the NBA. Should be an MVP consideration this year because of the way he's carried the Knicks, especially when it comes to scoring the ball. And then you surround him with 2 of the 4 best, or let's go 5, because we'll still put Kawhi there just because he is Kawhi Leonard. We know how he can get. With 2, and Jonathan Isaac, people like that. But we'll go with two of the five best on-ball defenders in the NBA in OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges. Now, for my money, Jaden McDaniels is number one, and you probably should, in all fairness, put Herb Jones number two. I would say 3 is Anunoby and 4 is Bridges, and then 5 is like kind of Kawhi because, you know, he sometimes does it, and then Jonathan Isaac just defends everywhere. That man's just insane. But, like, he's also just literally insane. But, like, something about this is that the Knicks could have an elite defensive unit with an elite rim protector in either Hartenstein or Robinson, who have shown to be elite rim protectors, both of them themselves, and then surround it with 2 great offensive players in Randall and Brunson. Also, when Julius wants to play defense, he is a good defender. So this team would work, and we know it would work. That's why we talk about this so much, about how it could work and why it would work and how the Knicks could win the finals if they could put this team together. But it doesn't seem likely at all. Something that has been mentioned, this is from an article from Sports Illustrated a couple months back, that basically said the Rockets made an aggressive offer in recent weeks, piling up a large, lucrative package that features multiple first-rounders in hopes of convincing the Nets to trade Mikal Bridges to them. And it didn't work out, according to Shams. Now, also, there was noise that at the beginning of the season, the Rockets may have offered a bunch of the Nets' own picks and Jalen Green for Mikal Bridges, and the Nets said no, which is absolutely hilarious. And then also, they do mention, obviously, the Rockets most notably hold the Nets' future picks due to the infamous James Harden debacle, where Brooklyn gave 3 first-round picks in 2022, 24, and 26, and 4 first-round swaps in the opposite years of 21, 23, 25, and 27 to Houston to get James Harden for a year before Harden did what Harden does. And then the Nets fell apart, and it was hysterical to watch. But look, we know the Nets screwed up, and now they refuse to fix this problem. The New York Knicks at this point of the game are probably going to offer the Nets the best package they can get. They can get, oh my God. They could get Bojan Bogdanovic's expiring contract, which gives them cap space to sign younger guys who maybe have high potential but didn't work out on their other teams, something that tanking teams do. They could also get a bunch of picks that the Knicks don't even own because the Knicks have a bunch of other teams' picks, so the Nets don't have to bank on an amazingly created Knicks team on being bad. They don't have to do that. That would work out for the Nets. Unless the Rockets still want to give them their picks back for Bridges, because we know Jalen Green's off the table now. That's the best deal the Nets are going to get from Mikal Bridges, and I don't think they're going to build upwards from here. I don't know if they're going to find that out the easy way or the hard way, and the easy way is just deciding now that you know this team is a failure, or the hard way, which is just going to be a real bummer for them when they go 3 years, waste half of Mikal Bridges' prime for no reason, and then Mikal just audibly leaves in free agency. But Brooklyn is not looking to rebuild, league sources told Hoops Hype around a month ago. Instead, the Nets hope to build alongside Mikal Bridges, who's locked in for $23 million next season and $25 million in the 2025-26 season before being able to opt for free agency. Given Bridges' contract, Ben Simmons' $40 million salary expiring after the next season, and the rest of the roster, the Nets have a 2-year window where they could potentially add more star power to improve the team. Doing so could shift Bridges to a second or third offensive option, which would be good because that's what he is, depending on what Brooklyn can acquire. But it doesn't seem like Joe Tsai and Sean Marks want to do this at all. They want to do the opposite. And Mikal Bridges, as great as he is, he's just not a first option. And we saw that. He looked like a first option for 27 games. I said 17 games. For 27 games. And then this season, he's gone down to 20 points a game. And yeah, Cam Thomas has led the team in scoring, and it has led to Mikal Bridges getting a bit more efficient. But this is still not the optimal role for Mikal Bridges. If you look here at his shooting splits, something you'll notice is that he is shooting the lowest percentage of corner threes in his career. That is a bad idea. Mikal Bridges, a great corner 3 shooter. And he's shooting the lowest percentage of them he's ever shot. He's only 34% of his threes are corner threes. That should be way higher. He's had seasons where it's been 60%. And those were great seasons where he shot 44% from that corner spot. But no, now he's not. Now he's down to 41. He's down to only taking 34% of them from there. We've seen his field goal percentages take a hit from this. We've seen that really that 16 feet to 3-point range has really kind of fallen apart to 29%. What we're noticing is a more inefficient version of Mikal Bridges on offense because he has to be a lead shot creator outside of Cam Thomas. And Mikal Bridges just isn't that, and that's not his fault. That's not anyone's fault. It's just not his game. He's an elite defender. That's the best part of his game. The Nets are trying to turn him into something he isn't. His defense has really struggled this year. His defense, I know I just said he's a top 5 on-ball defender because he is that good, but you wouldn't know it from the numbers because the man has to do everything on offense when his best ability is playing defense. The Nets are a wreck. They've been through 2 coaches this season. It seems like they're going to hire a different one. They're not going to stick with Kevin Alley, which doesn't make sense to me. I think he's a solid coach. But whatever. The Brooklyn Nets are nuts. The Knicks are probably out on Mikal Bridges, at least for the next year or so, which means if the Knicks want to go star hunting this summer, which it is financially smart to do compared to next summer, where you're going to have to pay Jalen Brunson and or Julius Randle, you might want to go star hunting right about now when you have that Bojan Bogdanovic contract to kind of use some money for and make things a little bit easier on you and not have to trade away a role player who matters, such as a Josh Hart or a Dante DiVincenzo or a Mitchell Robinson. But we don't know. And I don't know who that's going to be. We're going to have to wait for the playoffs because it seems like it's not Mikal Bridges, and that's a shame because he'd be the perfect fit for the Knicks. I think if the Knicks could get Mikal Bridges and not lose a single one of their role players, I think that's a deep enough team to win the NBA Finals next season. I think they would win the NBA Finals. But such is life. We're not going to get that. We're going to have to move on to the next one. Who knows who that will be? We're going to have to wait and see through the playoffs to see what the Knicks decide they need and which teams, players just get upset with the lack of or with the underperformance. Comment down below who you think that could be. I've asked you guys a million times about Mikal Bridges and Donovan Mitchell. Let's get some new names in there. Throw some ideas at me. Don't say Zion. I'm sick of seeing Julius Randle for Zion. No. Get weird with it. Tell me a name that I'm not going to expect coming that the New York Knicks should try to trade for. I will respond to every single one of those comments. We can get into some debates or maybe just agreeing on stuff. It'll be more fun if we debate, though. So let's talk in the comments. Like this video. Subscribe to Knicks Digest. Turn on post notifications. It won't change your life, but it will sort of change mine. At least a little bit. It'll make my day better. Every time I see a subscription, I'm like, nice. It's not going to change your life if you subscribe to Knicks Digest, but it'll slowly change my life, and that would be very nice for you guys. Comment down below. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Later.